Hi guys, it's Lindsay, and you're probably bored of this by now, but here's a writing tag part 3. I can't do this without finishing it, it'll get on my nerves. So we're up to number 25, linear or non-linear, and why. Assuming they are discussing time, I prefer linear because I think that's kind of the point of a progression of a story, and I've never read a novel that didn't use non-linear time that wowed me, other than a couple, like, Doctor Who spin-off novels. But, like, that's not the point. Like, quality, original, non-fan fiction, solid ideas. I just find that linear more follows my definition of a book, I guess. That sounds closed-minded. Standalone or series, and why. I prefer to write series. I either write a short story or a series because I either have one key theme concept that I want to get across, or I have a universe and loads of characters and loads of mythology and loads of people and places and things, and I want to get them all across. And so it depends on what I'm writing for. As a reader, I prefer standalones. And I know what you're thinking, oh, it's just because you're lazy and you don't want to find the sequels. No, listen, my favorite book series is 5 books long, and I'm reading the sequel series right now, and I've read it 12 times. It's not because I'm lazy and I don't want to find them. I love series. I just prefer standalones because I think that they leave you with a more concrete end and a really powerful, that's it. Done. No more. And I really like that. Some people might not. They might totally disagree. But for me, like, that's the thing. Do you share rough drafts or do you wait until it's polished? I share rough drafts. Easy answer. And who do I share them with? A close friend of mine that moved, my boyfriend, my dad, and that's about it. Yeah, that's all. My therapist occasionally. Oh, I have a therapist. Holy shit, she's psycho. Not how it works. Who do I write for? I write for me, bitch. I am what I write for. I write because I want to write. If I didn't want to write, I wouldn't be fucking writing. Easy answer. And I also write for my readers because I love my readers. Favorite line you've ever written? Now, how can you ask me that? Favorite line I've ever written? It was in my short story that I wrote about the airport bombing. There's a guy getting passed up by a paramedic, and the guy is panicking because his girlfriend is in the building, and he was coming to pick her up after she'd just flown back from New York, and he was freaking out, thinking, God, she must be dead, she must be crushed, they're not letting me help, and he was really panicking. And so the paramedic was telling him that, you know, and it was a male paramedic telling him, you know, I understand how you feel, I've been in your position, and he says, no, you can't possibly understand how I feel, my girlfriend isn't there, and this and that and this and that, and the paramedic looks at him and says, listen, I have a man overseas who's promised me a ring if he makes it back. I understand how you feel. And I think that the fact that there was no hint that he was gay, and it was never mentioned that he was gay, but that he felt the same and could relate to another person in a relationship just the same. It was an insignificant plot point. He said man instead of woman. Whoop-de-fucking-do. I mean, I love that line because I just feel like it embodies my message. Everyone's the same. It doesn't matter. Everyone's the same. Hardest character to write. My hardest character to write would be a female character. a protagonist. I can write a female antagonist. I can't write a female protagonist. I'm currently doing that, which is a warning sign. And the easiest character to write. I love a good male protagonist. I like to write from a male perspective. I'll go more over that in another video, I think. Do you listen to music when you're writing? Yes. Yes, I do. Handwritten notes or typed notes? If it's just, like, notes, like, I'll jot down ideas in my bullet journal. But, when it comes to, like, if I have a whole scene written out in my head, but I'm not there in the book yet, I will type it. Tell some backstory details about one of your characters in your story. I'll tell you about Zachiel in my current story. Zachiel is something called Arunia, who is a fallen angel race that was cast down into hell by the above angels for wanting to kind of save and protect the human race. And I know that sounds crazy, but you'll understand once I finally get it published by the time I'm 20 or something. He's part of the 20 leaders of the 200 fallen angels, and he has always struggled to blindly follow rules. He really is passionate about doing what he believes right, not what the common believes is right. And I really like that piece of him, just because a lot of people do that, and they're not necessarily good people. So I think his backstory leaves him somewhat mysterious, because he has all the fuel to make him a villain, and he has all the fuel to make him a hero, so you never really know which direction he's gonna go. A spoiler for my story in a world made for I'll go with a world made for whores, since that's the one that's available for you guys to read. Somebody dies. Some important people, actually. Most inspirational quote that you've ever read or heard that's still important to you. I have two. The first one is by Adam Savage. I reject your reality and substitute my own. I have been reciting that since I was like 7 or 8. It is my life motto. And the second quote is, life isn't always fair, but it's still good. And I don't know who that is by, but it's a big one for me. 38. Have you shared your outline of your story with someone? No, I never have. Not the outline. Do you base your characters off of real people or not? No, I don't. I did in my very first story ever, but other than that, I don't. I will use, like, people's faces and body types. Like, I'll base a character off of a celebrity aesthetically. Like, you know, I'll take their dark hair, their eye color, and their height. But then I'll kind of create my own little face around that. Original fiction or fan fiction, and why? I prefer to write original fiction, but I don't mind reading fan fiction most of the time. And if you like to write fan fiction, you're legitimate as fuck. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Okay. How many stories do you work on at one time? I have one big main project. One big main project. And then I'll work on 2 or 3 short stories. I'll probably be editing something else and outlining something else. But I'm only, like, really writing one project at a time. How do you figure out your characters' looks, personality, etc.? I make them real people. I have a certain character profile that I use that kind of sets up my characters as real people. Like, what do they smell like? What's their guilty pleasure? You know, what's their fighting style? And sometimes it's just little things about them that, like their religion, that the readers will never ever know, but they help me develop a full character. And that's important to me, to have a character completely seem totally realistic. That is all the time I have for this video, and sorry for the lack of eye contact in this. There's a bright light like in this direction, and I'm